After Solomon died, Israel was torn apart. The nation split into two kingdoms, Judah in the south, ruled by Rehoboam, and Israel in the north, ruled by Jeroboam. Jeroboam feared that if the people kept traveling to Jerusalem to worship God, their hearts would return to Judah and he would lose his throne. So instead of trusting God, he created false worship. He built two golden calves, one in Bethel and one in Dan, and told the people, "Here are your gods, O Israel." It was rebellion disguised as religion. A man of God from Judah. One day, God sent a prophet from Judah to Bethel. The Bible does not give his name. He is simply called the man of God. That alone tells us something important. His identity was not in his name, but in his obedience. As King Jeroboam stood at the altar in Bethel, burning incense to the false god, the man of God cried out with a loud voice, not against the king directly, but against the altar itself. "O altar, altar, this is what the Lord says. A son named Josiah will be born to the house of David. On you he will sacrifice the priests of these high places." This prophecy was shocking. Josiah would not be born for another 300 years, yet God named him in advance to prove that the message was truly from God. The prophet gave a sign. "This altar will split apart, and the ashes on it will be poured out." Immediately, the altar cracked open, and the ashes spilled to the ground. The king's pride is broken. Enraged King Jeroboam pointed his hand at the prophet and shouted, "Seize him!" But the moment he stretched out his hand, it withered and froze in place. He could not pull it back. Now the powerful king was helpless. Terrified, Jeroboam begged the prophet, "Please entreat the Lord your God and pray for me, that my hand may be restored." The man of God prayed, and God showed mercy. The king's hand was healed. Grateful at least on the surface, Jeroboam invited the prophet, "Come home with me for a meal, and I will give you a reward." But the prophet refused firmly. "Even if you gave me half your kingdom, I would not go with you. The Lord commanded me, 'Do not eat bread or drink water there, and do not return by the same way you came.'" This command was clear and specific. It was a test of obedience. So the prophet left Bethel by a different road, just as God instructed. The old prophet's deception. Now there lived in Bethel an old prophet. When his sons told him what had happened at the altar, he was curious and perhaps jealous. He saddled his donkey and went after the man of God. When he found him resting under an oak tree, he invited him home for a meal. The man of God replied, "I cannot go back with you. The Lord told me not to eat bread or drink water in this place." Then the old prophet lied. "I too am a prophet, just like you. And an angel spoke to me by the word of the Lord, saying, 'Bring him back with you to your house, so he may eat and drink.'" But the Bible clearly says he was lying to him. The man of God made a tragic mistake. He trusted a man's claim of revelation instead of the clear command God had already given him. So he went back. They sat together. They ate. They drank. Judgment falls while they were still at the table. The true word of the Lord came not to the man of God, but to the old prophet who had lied. The old prophet cried out, "This is what the Lord says. Because you disobeyed the word of the Lord, and did not keep the command he gave you, you will not be buried in the tomb of your ancestors." The meal ended in silence. The man of God mounted his donkey and left. On the road, a lion met him and killed him. But here is what makes the story chilling and unforgettable. The lion did not eat the body. The lion did not attack the donkey. The lion stood beside the corpse, guarding it. This was not hunger. This was judgment. People passed by and saw the strange sight, a dead prophet, a living donkey, and the lion standing still. Word spread quickly. Too late regret. When the old prophet heard what happened, he knew immediately. It is the man of God who disobeyed the Lord. He went, retrieved the body, and mourned over him, crying, "Alas, my brother!" He buried him in his own tomb and instructed his sons, "When I die, bury me beside him." Why? Because the old prophet knew something crucial. Every word the man of God spoke against the altar of Bethel would surely come to pass. And generations later, during the reign of King Josiah, it did. The meaning of the story. This story is not mainly about a lion. It is about obedience. The man of God was bold before kings, accurate in prophecy, used powerfully by God. Yet he fell not because of fear, but because of compromise. Key lessons. 1. Partial obedience is still disobedience. 2. God's clear word is greater than any new revelation. 3. Spiritual authority does not excuse deception. 4. A strong start does not guarantee a strong finish. The lion did not kill a false prophet. It killed a disobedient one.